Hey guys, welcome back. It is Thursday, which means it's my favorite day of the week because I get to hang out with you guys. Today, we're going to do a hopefully quick. I really want to get you guys out of here as soon as you can. Try not to take a full hour out of your Thursday. But I really want to go over some things that I was finding while I was on Etsy and EverBee research combined this week. So obviously, it's September 4th, which means we are inching closer and closer to Q4, which is supposedly going to be the biggest time of the year for all of us, right? So I wanted to kind of just go through some things that I was finding on Etsy myself that can be applicable to literally every type of seller and no matter where you're selling. So if you're on EverBee store, if you are on, let's just say Instagram or TikTok shop selling digital products or physical products, or of course, if you are on Etsy, this is going to be very beneficial to you. But I'm also going to take a couple of the trends that I personally found and put them in other like ways that you guys could use them. So if I find something that is a digital product, for example, we might be able to actually flip it into a print on demand or vice versa. So that's what we're going to be doing today. And if you are brand new to our live trend hunting kind of videos, we're basically going to walk through a quick PDF that is going to go through all of the data that I personally saw, but then also all of the trends that we're kind of finding. And again, how can we apply it to multiple different things? So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and add my screen to the stage. We're going to be looking at Canva today rather than a PDF document. But if you guys want access to this, just let me know by just dropping let's just say yes in the chat or something of the sort. And then if you do want it, I'll go ahead and download it as a PDF and get it uploaded into the description of this live stream once we finish up today. Also, speaking of the live chat, if you do have any questions while we're going through things, or if you have any comments, or maybe you want to confirm that, yes, I did see that trend myself, use the live chat, use and abuse it as much as you want, because this is supposed to be an interactive kind of experience. I don't want to be talking at you guys for an hour. So feel free to use and abuse that. And if you are watching this on replay, feel free to also go ahead and drop any comments or questions that you have in the comments of the video. Also, before we get started, if you are watching this live with me today, or if you are catching the replay, if you could do me a favor and just go ahead and boop that like button on the actual video. That's going to allow this live stream or live stream recording to get out to a ton more e-commerce and online sellers. So we can hopefully get this message out to as many people as possible. Without further ado, let's go ahead and add my thing to the screen here. Like I said, we are in Canva today. So the first thing I wanted to hit on really quickly was when you are in Etsy, you can also be doing this in TikTok Shop. You can, or TikTok, the app in general. You can also be doing this in Pinterest. You can be doing this on Amazon. You can literally look up things that are doing well for free on all four of those places without ever needing EverBee. Now, of course, I want you to sign up for EverBee if you haven't already, absolutely. But I wanted to show you guys that you can also do this for free up front, just using the platforms that you already have access to as well. And then what I personally like to do is go back and do EverBee research off of the things that I'm finding. So a quick example is if you're in Etsy, let me go ahead and pull that up real fast just so you can see what I see. 1 second. All right, we're sharing this now. So on Etsy, you're going to be able to see these things up top, which is just like the things that are featured for that, season or whatever time of year it is. And then you can also click on gifts right here, which is going to also show you what holiday or season is currently happening right now, that Etsy is letting you guys know is obviously of importance and you should focus on. But they're also going to give you all of these. So if you're ever like starving for ideas that are evergreen, rather than trending, this is a really, really awesome place to go. And then you can also scroll down a little further until you get to this section with all these kind of colorful cards, and click browse all. And then you'll be able to get even more ideas. As you can see, there are over 8 pages of different types of people that you can actually gift for. Okay. So just wanted to show that really quickly. I'm also going to show this really quickly as well. If you're on Pinterest, and let's just say whatever you want to do. So we're going to go to the search bar. You can see I was already doing this earlier myself today, and this was for my own personal looking. And then also down here, graphic tee 2025. On Pinterest, you can do the exact same concept, except for Etsy is kind of doing a little bit more of the work for us, where they're grabbing a lot of ideas and putting them in our hands so that we can dive deeper. Pinterest is going to be kind of like, what do you want to look at? So in this case, let's switch it up a little bit and say Christmas shirt 2025, for example. This is something I really, really want to bring up on both Pinterest and also Amazon, technically, and TikTok, is you want to type in the year, or maybe even the quarter or the month, with whatever you're looking up. So in this case, I'm looking up Christmas right now, but I want it to be 2025, because what I want to do is anybody that is currently utilizing that in their tags on their Pinterest pins should be the first things that pop up. So I'm going to do 2025 here. Highly recommend you guys doing the same. Then we can go ahead and press enter. And what's going to happen is everything that is getting the most shares, saves, and click through. So if we're actually clicking into these things, and also engagement too, so like likes and stuff like that, is what Pinterest is going to pull up to the top. So you can pretty much guarantee that these things are at least trending on Pinterest. And then we can basically go back into EverBee research to confirm if it's also doing well on those places. But this one right here, let me just click on this for an example. I know for a fact something like this will do super, super well. Where is this at? Let's see. I'm just interested to see where they're selling this at. I think it's on their own personal website. Yeah. So on their own personal website, let me just show you where it's at real fast. So it's on weddingfavorites.com, as you can see here. But I just really see something like this doing super well. Also, potentially Let's Go Ghouls, Scary Movies and Chill. Potentially this Boo one. Let me see if there's another one that I notice. In my Spooky Mama era did really, really well last year, even though, again, I don't recommend doing anything related to eras tour personally, but that's just me. But I know something like this is going to do super well because this theme has been trending all year long in multiple different seasons, not just Halloween. So they basically are taking something that's already doing well and applying it to the Halloween space. So that's what I like to use Pinterest for, is kind of coming in here and seeing like Candy Cane Cutie Social Club is a really, really, really smart idea, because as you and I know, Social Club whatever has been doing so well for the past basically year and a half or so. So they just did a really good job at applying the Christmas theme to it. Also crushing it with these nutcrackers, hilarious, rocking around. I think this is copyrighted, so I wouldn't recommend that necessarily. But these kinds of things where it's like a really big, almost all over print shirt, where the graphic is like really large on the front, has been doing well all year long. Let's see if I can find another one that has been doing well. This right here. The disco ball coquette kind of theme is doing well. Thick like Nick. That's hilarious. That could do really well as well. So that's what I like to use Pinterest for, is kind of getting some ideas of things that are being saved, clicked through, and potentially even purchased as well. Then the last thing I want to show you guys, so we have like the gift mode on Etsy, we have Pinterest search with 2025. The last thing I want to show you is TikTok. This is my friend Arbel. She's so cute. One second. Let me pause this real quick. Maybe. There we go. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is the exact same concept. As you can see, I was doing Halloween 2025 shirt. Let's just say we do fall 2025 decor. So just giving a quick example of how you can write this out. And again, I want you guys to make sure you are using the 2025 for all of these. We want to go under the top or the videos, either one of these, but I kind of want to stay in the top. A lot of these are going to be TikTok shop things, but it could give us ideas for things that are trending on TikTok shop that we can actually make ourselves. So a quick example could be like this fall doorway. Oh, it's gone now, but okay. I don't know how to get it back. There we go. Pretend it was there. But this can kind of give us some ideas of what is doing well. Oh my God, there's a fly on my face. Is doing well in this space right now. Maybe like there's a good example. I'm trying to get it to stop, but it won't work. But you can use these to show yourself what could possibly be doing well that you might be able to recreate, especially if you are a handmade seller. And something else I really want to focus on here, like this blanket, for example, with these pumpkins, could be a very, very easy thing that a print on demand seller could do. Even, which I'm not going to hover over it because it didn't work last time, but even like the fall checkered looking pattern of the pillows could also even be done by print on demand sellers as well. However, another thing I want to hit on is not only are we looking at these things for inspiration. Let me go ahead and let's put Christmas shirt. Let's just do the same thing we just did a second ago. Not only are we looking at these for inspiration for designs that we can use for our actual listings, but we are also looking for inspiration of how to make content. So if you go to the top, you're going to see all the things that are doing really well in this space. And then you're also going to see things other people searched for over here. So trending t-shirt ideas 2025, popular shirt designs 2025, trendy t-shirt designs 2025. So there is just a multitude of places that you guys can go completely for free to not only find ideas for things that you could possibly sell, like the listings themselves, but also what things were doing really, really well on the content side. So let's just say this one, for example, had 1,500 likes. This one had 6,200 likes. Scroll a little bit more. This one had 27,000 likes. So maybe there's things that you can actually come through. Another one right here, 27,000. Let me see, 222,000. So maybe there are some things that you can find that we're looking for these guys right here at the bottom. So which of these are really big that maybe you can replicate no matter what in the world you're selling? Maybe you can replicate the content style because obviously these things did well on these platforms for a reason. Okay. So with that said, let's go ahead and share back to my PDF itself in Canva. I wanted to give you guys some ideas of what was doing, how you could find these things for free. And then I'm also using EverBee research to double down on it. Okay. So with that said, something else I wanted to really quickly show you guys was under the fall decor, which was kind of cool. No, excuse me, not fall decor, hosting decor. So fall decor is where I was on Etsy. And then I went down the hosting decor rabbit hole. So in the hosting decor, what was interesting was I found these. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more so you can see them. Handmade mushroom lamps. Now, in no way am I telling you guys to go learn how to make handmade mushroom lamps. But what I am telling you is this is more than likely, it's already doing well right now. And you can see they're 5 months and 3 months old. I found another one that was only 1 month old that was doing well as well. I just didn't copy and paste it in here. Not only are these doing well right now, but I think that they're going to climb higher as we get closer and closer to Halloween. So as of right now, we are 8 weeks away from my favorite holiday, which is Halloween. So the whimsical decor, the fairy core, the cottage core, the whimsy goth, all of those niches, all of those spaces are going to get a kind of like a lift over the next couple of weeks. So no, don't go learn how to make this necessarily, but maybe get into finding how we can get into these spaces depending on what you sell. So if I come back over here, just to give you guys a quick example of how I would do this, let's say fairy core. And looking at the top, again, we're on TikTok right now. You can do this wherever. But looking at the top, trying to figure out if there's anything like this pattern is kind of interesting. So right here to the left, right here. This is kind of interesting right here as well. Let's see if there's anything else. So most of these are going to be like the costumes that we're going to see. But all of these different patterns, like I'm seeing right here, all of these different patterns can 100% be created by a handmade seller, a print-on-demand seller, and that's about it. I don't know about anything else, but you can definitely utilize all of these for inspiration. Let's come back over here and say, I don't know if this is going to work or not. This might be just an Etsy thing, but let me see. Whimsy goth outfits. Let's try. Ooh, cool. Okay. So what's cool here is you can actually utilize this right here for an example, 35,000 likes on this particular outfit. And you can see she's also in this one showing multiple different outfits. But these are patterns that you can actually create for your own store. Here's another example of a shirt that's doing well, or again, a pattern that's doing well. So just a quick example of like, not only am I showing you guys these things that that I found on Etsy, but it's also things that you can look for in other places, like the 4 places we talked about today. I didn't show you guys Amazon, but you can also do it on Amazon as well. Another thing I wanted to quickly note was in relation, to the hosting decor space, was I started noticing a lot of crochet patterns, like so freaking many of them. And these have been doing so well all year long in multiple different spaces. So if you have the ability to create crochet patterns, if that's a gift of yours, I highly recommend making sure that you are doing that for the next 4 months, and getting Christmas up as early as possible, getting Halloween up as early as this week. I don't recommend doing too much after the next week to week and a half for Halloween. But what I was seeing was something that you guys might be actually leaving money on the table with by not using this item. And it's the ability to do crochet pattern plus video. I saw this literally 10 times. They were beating out the competition every single time, no matter what niche they were in, no matter what season they were promoting for. When you had crochet pattern and video, crochet pattern plus video, all of those were outstandingly exceeding all of the competition time and time again. So if you are selling crochet patterns, I highly, highly recommend doing something to add a video when they download it, just so it's a little bit easier on them and it makes it an absolute no-brainer. And it also brings up the value of the product as well, which means you can charge more overall. Okay. So one little thing I wanted to hit on there before we moved into the next space. So the next one I was thinking about, because Etsy told me to think about it, was birthstones. So we all know that like birth flowers and such are doing well all the time. Like those are people in the millions, selling, people in the millions of dollars who are selling birthstone or birth flower stuff. But it got me thinking a little bit of something that might be beneficial for you guys that you could build an entire EverBee store on, to be honest. This was giving me ideas right here. So birthstone gifts sapphire was something like you guys saw earlier. We put that in the Etsy search bar and it, brought down some ideas that we might have. But it's also giving it to me in the gift section. So then I started thinking about it. Okay, what is sapphire? I didn't know where sapphire was. It's September, which makes sense because we're in the month of September. But it made me think, what if someone just built an entire store directed towards gifts in the birthstone space? So I started thinking about, what's coming up soon. We've got garnet for January, opal for October, citrine or topaz, I think is also what it's called, because I'm November and I've always called it topaz, but I could be wrong, for November, and then blue topaz for December. So it might be an idea that you guys can jump into, to maybe, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit on these, make them a little bit bigger for you guys. Beep, 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 beep. There we go. So it might be an idea to actually get into this space, whether it be on Etsy or an EverBee store, that is completely related to each of the individual months. So not only are these things that people want to buy for themselves, but it's actually things that people are also going to want to buy for others. So for example, I actually have one right here on my 222 necklace that my sister, she actually dug it for me. I was going to say bought me, but my sister actually went to like a mine in Georgia and dug up this, so which was kind of cool. So then we got to put it into a little necklace. So it not only is it something that maybe I want to purchase for myself because I was born in the month of November, but it's also a really easy giftable item. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see. I was doing opal birthstone for this quick example with a listing age maximum of 12, because if opal is October, we want to kind of look at like things that might have been listed over the last 12 months through last September. And I was seeing a bunch of different things which have really good numbers as it relates to price. So the cool thing about this one, for example, there's only 23 monthly sales for this opal beaded necklace, but that means $3,600 in revenue because it's handmade and because it's able to be charged more. Even this one though, with 49 monthly sales, we're still looking at almost 3,000 with only being 6 months old. And then what I also wanted to show you guys was down here, And the growth rate, which again, I think I mentioned this at the beginning, the growth rate is found within the business plan of EverBee Store, or not EverBee Store, sorry, EverBee Research. So this shows me over the last 30 days, you can see this, but if you have the business plan, you can actually drop down the trends graph to be like way farther in the past than 30 days. I'm just showing you guys 30 days today. But you can see the growth rate for each of these was 100 to 200% over the past 30 days, which makes complete sense knowing that we are leading up into October. Here's another one. Let me go ahead and bring these down for you guys. Same concept here. You can see I was doing the citrine birthstone again with a max listing age of 12 months. And you can see there were 3 different ones with, again, really good pricing. So if I bring these up a little bit bigger for you guys, you can see growth rate 100% over the past month for all of these. You can see they're 2 months, 2 months, and 4 months old only, which is fantastic. And we're seeing 9 monthly sales at a very, very high price margin or profit margin, 60 monthly sales at around $40, and 9 monthly sales at around 60. So it might just be a good thing to think about if you've never thought about this before. Here's December as well. You can see blue topaz, 83,000 over the past 12 months. And then I did the exact same thing. So 2 little blue topaz ones for you, 100% and 200%, both of which are under the 12-month-old range. So just thinking out loud, a lot of the things that we're seeing on Etsy are going to obviously be jewelry. We're seeing pretty much nothing but jewelry. But if you can think about what you can do with a birthstone that doesn't have to be jewelry, or could be a fun twist on jewelry or a fun twist on a stone, you could literally make an entire store dedicated to this niche. I wonder if there are any stores, to be honest, if you guys happen to go out and do some research and find one off of Etsy that is fully 100% related to birthstone gift giving, or birthstone jewelry or whatever it is. I'd be interested to see that, because this is something that is obviously seeing traction every single month, which means that you could have an evergreen store by simply offering this one niche. And by niche, I mean not really a person, right? We're talking about like the birthstone niche rather than the person who is gifting it or getting it. So keeping that in mind might be something to look into, just thinking out loud. The next one that I want to talk about is the most important in my opinion, is Halloween. So this is my favorite holiday, as most of you guys know, and it is coming up 8 weeks from today. So we have just basically 2 more months to get these sales in. So what I highly recommend is, you can see last minute, I really want you guys to get as many Halloween things, which we'll go over these in a second, to get as many Halloween listings live as possible by the end of this week. I know it's Thursday, so I'm not giving you much time, but as many Halloween listings as you can get live by, at the absolute latest, September 10th. Highly, highly recommend reprioritizing whatever you have this week to really focus on those. So you can see Halloween care packages, gifts, mugs, embroidery, plushies, etc. All of these things were on the gifts section of Etsy, but I went ahead and dove a little bit deeper into individual ones that are a little bit more, what's that word I'm looking for? Just like unique in general, that like have a way of kind of cross niching, but also a little bit more unique. So the first one that I loved, I wish I would have thought of this myself, was bride or die bachelorette party shirts. I think that is super smart because this can actually be evergreen. Me, for example, I'm very, very into like the macabre kind of stuff. So knowing that this is just a niche in itself, that people just like spooky stuff all year long, this actually could be an evergreen niche. And you can see it's 14 months old, around, $3,300 estimated per month. And the reason why is because people are not just going to get one of these. They're probably going to get 5. They're going to get 10 of these, depending on how many people are going to the bachelorette party. The good news about this too is this could be other things. It could also be cruises. It could also be, I don't know, if you just go on like a girls trip, whatever it is, unrelated to bachelorette, bride or die, till death do us party, like all of these different things, other than the bride, of course, that's obviously a wedding. But these kinds of concepts can do really well in other spaces that don't have to be wedding. And this can do well in Halloween, and this can do well evergreen as well. Okay. The next one that I was seeing, which is kind of annoying because I have to show you both. There we go. So I'm just going to pull this over here so we can see both at the same time. I was actually seeing Halloween onesies were doing superbly this month, in the month of September / over the past 30 days. So thinking about how you can get a little bit more unique and a little less trendy, that are just like your standard comfort colors, your standard Gildan 18,000. People are actually doing really, really well in the onesie space. So Just a Spooky Goose was doing well. This Booby Juice was hilarious to me. I don't even have kids, and I thought that was funny. But these things were doing well. And if I come over here, you can see that it was a 200% increase over the month with Booby Juice, 500% increase. And they're only 2 months old, by the way. So they're doing exceptionally well by only being alive for less than 60 days. So that spooky goose concept, so basically pairing 3 different niches. We've got Halloween, we've got babies, and then we've got the silly goose concept. Those have been doing well all year long. So thinking about Just a Spooky Goose instead was very, very, very smart. And then our Bride or Die shirts, Till Death Do Us Party, has been alive for a little over a year, but over the past month, a 1,200% increase. Okay. So might be some ideas. Hopefully you guys are getting some inspiration from some things that I'm finding. Might be some things to really jump into. And if you want to use, a design platform like, Creative Fabrica or Canva or whatever it is, to kind of find things by just simply typing in, which I'll actually do it right now while we're together. Let's see. Let's say baby Halloween. I don't know if this is going to come up, but let's see what it does, if anything. So we go to see all in graphics. Like there's one right there. Let's see if there's anything else. Oh, this is kind of cute. So this could be on a onesie very easily, and then just add maybe some text to it. So things that are like, childlike, all of these different things could maybe do well, knowing that onesies in the Halloween space are doing well. Okay. Hope that makes sense. The next thing I wanted to show you guys in Halloween is, I don't know what in the world happened to my Canva document before I got here. It looks crazy. I apologize. There we go. So another thing I wanted to show you real fast. I'm actually going to delete this and go to another page. 1 second. Here we go. It's a little prettier over here. I don't know what I did before I got here, guys. I ain't gonna lie to you. So the other thing that I wanted to show was a trend that I was seeing, and this isn't even the trend now. This is like a trend for the past freaking year or longer, to be honest. But I'm seeing it in the Halloween space, and I am more than likely going to see it in the Christmas space, but I'm just going to hit on it 1,000 more times anytime that I see it. Comfort colors win over and over again, just every single season. I've been doing these videos with you guys, or these trainings with you guys, for almost 2 years. Next February is 2 years. It's crazy. And it's just comfort colors over and over and over again, no matter what time of year it is. But what I really wanted to draw spotlight to today in the fall space is what I'm seeing is a couple months ago, we saw, I think it's called graphite, if I'm not mistaken, was like that dark gray color was doing well. And we also saw a lighter blue color doing well. Now what I'm seeing in fall is yam. So yam is this color down here, right here, these two. And if you look on Halloween comfort colors on Etsy, you're more than likely going to see a buttload of yams and a buttload of this color, which I think is blue jean, but I'm not 100% sure. Let me see if it says it over here. No, it doesn't. So I saw a lot of these, but the majority that I saw was the yam color. So if you start putting, if you're doing comfort colors, for example, and you start adjusting your thumbnail to be yam, it might help you make more sales during this next season. Something else I was noticing here was the growth rate of all 3 of these was huge. And again, we're just going to be real honest. This guy right here is obviously a little bit of a copyright, so I wouldn't recommend putting the person's name whatsoever. Hello Darkness, my old friend, is also something that is copyrighted, but just Hello Darkness, or even just like the raven with the coffee, is super cute, really on brand for this time of year. And then I was also seeing, this is actually probably the 2nd or 3rd year that I've seen this, but ghost and black cats were just doing super well. Last year, ghost and horses did well as well. So if you can think of like how to pair ghost with animals that people might be looking up, that is a easy way for you to make good sales in the Halloween season. All right, now moving on from Halloween, we're getting into sports. So if you guys are not aware, football just recently started, I think this week, maybe last week, I don't know. And then soccer, I also noticed, was kids' season. This is something that I actually looked up because I was just interested in what the seasons were. But kids' seasons were actually August through November. And I didn't know this. If you guys are like, that's not true, please tell me in the comments or the live chat. But this is just something that I looked up on Google because I saw so many soccer things for kids happening right now, like in the last month. So I started to look it up and noticed that it looks like August through November is usually when kids soccer season start, not MLS because that's a different month. That's like in February. But for the kids stuff and the soccer moms and stuff, looks like it's going to do well over the next 3 to 4 months. So you can see I did soccer in general, 202,000 listings analyzed over the past 12 months. And the majority of things that I was seeing, I wish I could get rid of this. It won't go away for some reason. But the majority of things that I was seeing in this space were all personalized. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit. You'll see 800, no, that's a lie, 500%, 200%, 50%, and a 400% growth rate for all of these. And I put them over here. Custom soccer jerseys, front and back, custom boot bags. I have no idea what that is, but just in general, like soccer, accessories, soccer bags, whatever. These are doing really, really well. These tumblers that are again personalized. And then this is a soccer or football jersey set. So you'll see this is 103 monthly sales, and they're only 3 months old for those tumblers that were again personalized. Same thing here, 2 months old, 17 monthly sales. This one's a little bit older at 11 months, but huge amount of views, great visibility score. And then last but not least, your custom soccer jersey, as you can see, for youth or kid teams, is only 3 months old. So what I was noticing in the soccer space is, of course, soccer mom is doing well. Of course, soccer dad is doing well, soccer sister, all of those different things that have done well in the past are also doing well this season. But I was seeing the majority of the things that were having these high growth trends were actually going to be personalized or customizable options. Moving on to the different kind of football, I was thinking about tailgating as it relates to American football. So what I did here was American football lasts until like the first or second week of February. So I actually made the listing age 15 months rather than 12 months. So keeping that in mind. And these are the things that I was seeing the most of. The one thing I wanted to point out again, just like what I pointed out on Pinterest, was Social Club does so well in every single niche, no matter literally what you're selling. If you're selling a t-shirt or a crew neck, no matter what niche you're selling in, Social Club seems to do well over and over again. And this is no different. You can see it's literally only a month old. So right before American football season started, and they've already made 30 sales, $1,000 in revenue for literally just putting a couple of designs from Canva together and slapping it on a t-shirt. Another example here, or something else really quickly I wanted to hit on, is both of these are comfort colors. These right here. Let me see if the other one is as well. Yes, this is also comfort colors. So again, just beating that dead horse 1,000 times, that I highly recommend making sure that all of your items are on, or excuse me, all of your designs are on comfort colors if you can, or at least just duplicating what you already have working, maybe on a Bella Canvas or a Gildan 5000, onto comfort colors, because those seem to always do well in the fall, if not, to be honest, all year long. Another one I saw here was, again, going that custom route. It was like custom with the person's, maybe it's a kids thing, whatever. It says you can see football mama, for example. So having the kids number for their football jersey on here. And then what's doing super, super well this year that I've seen time and time again, and this also did well last year as well, is this checkered thing in the back. So being able to have kind of that retro checkered appeal is doing well. And also the vintage, which you can't see it too well on here, but you'll see on game day, there's a little bit of a tattered kind of, I forgot what it's called now. Don't know, can't think of it. But it basically just is like a grungy kind of font. So usually you can do this in something like Kittle. I think you can do it in Canva too, where you can actually just apply an overlay of like a grungy looking, whatever you call those. Again, I can't think of the word, but something over that. So it looks kind of tattered. It looks vintage. It looks like it's pre-washed. And then also having the combination with comfort colors, making it also a vintage wash item. Then over here, let me see if I can move my thing over a little bit. This was a home decor thing that I found, but I also, again, it's $100. So I also wanted to give you guys an idea of you could do something like this, that it's football season, with different colored bows like this person did in a wood decor space in multiple other spaces. So you could do this for bows, for example. You could make something like that. You could put it on a shirt. You could put it on a crew neck. You could put it on a flag. Like, I know Printify sells like flags that you can put in your yard. Like, I wanted to give you guys this example or idea because it could be put on so many different items. Not just, you don't just have to be a wood decor seller. Also down here, you're going to see, again, huge growth rates for all 4 of these across the board, and only one of them is 11 months. You'll also see this one's 1 month, 1 month, and 2 months old. So definitely might be something for you guys to look into. Last but not least, this is the exact same kind of space that we were looking at for the football space. But again, under the 12 months with very big, 100 to 200% growth rates. Going to the bow concept right here. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. This is a bow that is being given. It could be on, obviously, your hair. It could obviously also be on a boot. Boot bows, I'd never even heard of this, but supposedly it's a thing in the SEC. So look that up if you're looking for an idea. But what I don't want you guys to do is steal these logos. They are not yours. But you can do the color combos. And you can just say college or university. You can, I would remove this elephant. That's Roll Tide, Bama, I believe. So I would remove this. Maybe the elephant actually could stay there because it's not the logo. But really just thinking about the houndstooth combined with the crimson, combined with the white. Or again here, this gingham style checker and red and black and white. Something of that nature where it's insinuated, but it's not stealing. I highly recommend do not put their logo on there at any time. The last thing I wanted to show you guys was, again, thinking of custom during the football season, this is going to be something that can be used for a bunch of different schools or a bunch of different local kids teams. And again, what are we using? Yam. Again, what are we using? Comfort Colors. And you can't really see it because I can't zoom in too much, but there's also that tattered kind of pre-wash, vintage, grunge, distressed, whatever type of overlay on these that, again, adds to that pre-wash vintage look. So just really thinking like there is not too much that you guys might need to do in the football space or in the sports space in general this year, as long as you think about how you could potentially personalize or customize it for someone. All right. So guys, that is all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed this walkthrough of some things that I found that were a little bit more unique than what you guys might be seeing on your standard Etsy search. I was using the business plan today to find all of those growth rates. And of course, you can have access to the last month if you have the growth plan. But if you want to see even deeper than the last month, I do highly recommend bumping up to the business plan with an EverBee. Also, please do not forget, make your life so much easier by going into TikTok, going into Pinterest, going into Amazon and typing in whatever you want to look up plus 2025 to do your pre-research, and then utilizing EverBee research to confirm or deny if it's something you want to move forward with. That is the best thing that you could possibly do, rather than just jumping on something that's on Etsy and then copying it, because that means that it's already been on Etsy probably for about a month or two. But if you go the opposite direction of go with things that are trending right now in other spaces that haven't hit Etsy yet, that's when you're going to be able to catch and ride that wave so much sooner than everybody else who's relying strictly on Etsy. Okay, so I hope that was beneficial, guys. I hope this was something that you found value in, and you're going to take a couple of these and run with them for your own stores. If there is something that you plan on running with, let me know in the comments of this video or the live chat. I would love to know what you guys are potentially interested in, maybe it's a niche you're getting into, or maybe it's a design aesthetic, or maybe you're just simply going to put stuff on yam comfort colors and that's the thing that you took away from today. Whatever it is, please let me know in the live chat, or if there is anything else that you want me to dive into. Maybe there was something that you saw today that you'd like us to dive deeper into next week. Feel free to let me know in the live chat and the comments of this video, and we will make sure to make it happen. With that said, guys, that is all I have time for today. Tried to get you guys out of here within 40 minutes and give you 20 minutes back on your Thursday. And again, as always, if you have any questions, you guys know where to find me, and I will